You've seen hypercars, but not like this. In 2025, Mansory's wildest builds take luxury and speed to insane new levels. From carbon madness to million-dollar monsters, these are the top 10 hypercars reimagined by Mansory. Let's begin. It starts, fittingly, with a legend reborn. The Mansory Vivere is their wild take on the Bugatti Veyron, a car that already redefined speed, engineering, and luxury when it launched. But Mansory doesn't just tweak the Veyron, they basically take it apart and rebuild it into something even more insane. The entire body is reworked in carbon fiber, but not just any carbon. It's Mansory's own forged carbon weave that creates a patterned, almost metallic finish. You'll spot it on the hood, roof, fenders, doors, and even the rear wing. The new front fascia gets larger intakes for better airflow and cooling. The bumper is redesigned with integrated LED running lights that give the car a sharper, more aggressive look. The side skirts are extended, the rear diffuser is widened, and the quad exhaust tips are integrated into a sharper rear valence. It's still a Veyron under the skin, packed with the legendary 8-liter quad-turbo W16 with 1200 horsepower, but visually it's a whole new beast, and the top speed? Well over 250 miles per hour. Inside, Mansory doesn't hold back. You get custom leather and Alcantara upholstery with unique stitching patterns, carbon fiber trim across the dash and doors, and LED ambient lighting. Even the steering wheel and floor mats are bespoke. Only a few units of the Vivere were ever made. Depending on the level of personalization, the price tag can hit $3.5 to $4 million. It's rare, loud, and designed to stand out even in a city full of supercars. But if the Vivere is built to slice through the air, the Stallone GTS is built to growl through it. Based on the Ferrari 812 Superfast, this machine trades elegance for aggression. Mansory starts by stripping off the factory panels and replacing them with forged carbon fiber, including a wider front apron, angular side skirts, rear diffuser, and a deeply vented hood. That hood scoop? It's not just for show. It improves airflow and gives the front end a predatory look that makes the factory 812 seem tame by comparison. Under the hood, the naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 gets tuned from 789 to over 830 horsepower. Mansory tweaks the ECU and fits a free-flowing stainless steel exhaust that changes the car's voice from a howl to a roar. That exhaust isn't just louder, it's sharper, more explosive, especially at high speeds. The car rides on custom ultralight forged wheels, finished in black with gold trim, paired with low-profile performance tires that widen its stance. Suspension tweaks and carbon aero pieces improve downforce and handling, making this more than just a visual overhaul. Inside, there's no shortage of luxury. Hand-stitched leather, Alcantara accents, carbon fiber paddle shifters, and even a custom instrument cluster. One collector went for a matte green finish with gold pinstripes and matching interior trim, a bold move that turned heads at the Geneva Auto Show. The full Mansory build costs well over $650,000, including the donor car. Did you know? The name Stallone isn't just a nod to horsepower, it's Italian for stallion, tying back to Ferrari's famous prancing horse. Then comes the Venatus Evo S, Mansory's most outrageous take on the Lamborghini Urus, and one of the wildest SUVs on the planet. At first glance, it's hard to even recognize the original Urus under all the upgrades. The wide-body kit adds serious bulk, not just for looks, but for presence. The flared fenders are sculpted out of forged carbon, the front bumper is redesigned with deep air intakes, and the hood gets new vents to improve cooling and add aggression. Around back, there's a massive roof spoiler, a custom diffuser, and a quad exhaust setup that spits fire on downshifts. Inside, it's just as dramatic. The cabin is redone with diamond-stitched leather, often in bold two-tone colors, and features fiber optic starlight headliners like you'd find in a Rolls-Royce. Mansory logos are embroidered into the seats, the steering wheel is reshaped and rewrapped in Alcantara, and custom carbon trims line the dash and doors. Every interior is different, with options for color-matched stitching, contrast piping, and even personalized floor mats. Under the hood, Mansory turns up the heat. The 4-liter twin-turbo V8 is tuned to deliver 900 horsepower and 811 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to push this nearly 5,000-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds, quicker than most supercars. All in, this build can cost upwards of $600,000 depending on options, and it's become a favorite among NBA players, celebrities, and collectors who want something that blends luxury, speed, and total shock value. Just when you think it can't get wilder, the F9XX Tempesta Celeste shows up like it just dropped out of orbit. Based on the already insane Ferrari SF90 Spider, this Mansory version turns everything up to 11, then breaks the dial. The original SF90 is already a hybrid supercar with 3 electric motors and a twin-turbo V8 pushing 986 horsepower, but Mansory doesn't settle for that. With performance tweaks and a retuned powertrain, the F9XX makes over 1100 horsepower. That's supercar territory with hypercar punch, and it rockets from 0 to 60 in just under 2.5 seconds. But the Tempesta Celeste isn't just about speed. The full body is rebuilt in forged carbon fiber, including a reshaped front splitter, side skirts, and a massive dual-plane rear wing. The rear fenders are flared out wide, giving it a track-ready stance that wouldn't look out of place in a DTM race. The front has sharper intakes, new headlights, and a custom hood with extra vents to improve airflow and reduce lift. It looks aggressive from every angle, sharp, low, and dangerous. Step inside and things get even wilder. The interior is fully redone in white leather with sky blue accents, seats, dash, doors, everything. A special client in the Middle East even asked for gold-plated buttons, custom embroidery on the headrests, and his initials laser-etched onto the steering wheel. The cost of those upgrades? Easily over $1.6 million. It's not just a car, it's a fashion statement that happens to hit 200 miles per hour. But if you think this one's bold, wait until you see what Mansory did to a Ford GT. That's coming up next. But if you're into something that doesn't scream for attention until it's already past you, the P9LM Evo 900 is where stealth meets savagery. This is Mansory's full-blown rework of the Porsche 911 Turbo S, and while it may keep the familiar silhouette, everything else has been dialed up. The body is completely overhauled with forged carbon fiber, not just the big pieces, but the subtle details too. From the hood vents to the side mirror caps, every line looks sharper and more aggressive. Mansory adds a unique front bumper with larger intakes, a deeper splitter, and aero fins that guide airflow better at high speeds. Around the back, the rear diffuser is massive and purposeful, with quad exhaust tips that blast out a deeper, throatier growl. Performance-wise, Mansory cranks the 3.8-liter flat 6 from 641 horsepower to a brutal 900. Torque? A mind-melting 774 pound-feet. To handle all that power, the gearbox is remapped, the suspension is stiffened, and custom forged wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires add grip where it counts. Inside, it's the usual Mansory flair. Quilted leather, contrast stitching, carbon fiber trim, and a custom steering wheel with paddle extensions. One US collector went with satin gray exterior, red pinstriping, and even ordered custom driving gloves to match the leather. The whole build estimated at around $600,000. And that's just one car. If you've been loving the ride so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We've still got more madness ahead. Now we shift gears, or rather smash through them, with the Kronos Coupe Evo C. It starts off life as a Mercedes G63 AMG, but once Mansory gets involved, it becomes something entirely different. This isn't just a tuned SUV, it's a complete body transformation. Mansory cuts the original 4-door G-Wagon and turns it into a 2-door luxury coupe. They rework the entire roofline, stretch the doors, reshape the side panels, and rebuild the back half of the vehicle. The end result looks like something straight out of a futuristic military convoy, but dressed in designer clothes. The whole exterior is rebuilt with forged carbon fiber, from the hood and fenders to the mirrors, door handles, and even the custom grille. Aerodynamic enhancements include a wide-body kit, a lower front splitter, sculpted side skirts, and a roof-mounted spoiler that looks ready for track duty. The LED light bars, blacked-out badging, and high-polish exhaust tips add to the aggressive look. Inside, it's full luxury. The cabin is lined with hand-stitched leather, Alcantara, custom embroidery, carbon fiber trim, and LED star lighting in the ceiling, a nod to Rolls-Royce interiors. Even the steering wheel and paddle shifters are bespoke. The twin-turbo V8 engine is remapped to deliver close to 900 horsepower, and the exhaust note is tuned for a deeper, louder growl. The cost of a Kronos Coupe Evo C can exceed $1.5 million, depending on the specs. It's bold, rare, and more of a statement than a vehicle, built for those who want their ride to be as loud as their lifestyle. And if you think that was bold, the Carbonado Evo laughs in your face. This isn't just a Lamborghini Aventador SVG with a new body kit, it's a full-blown transformation. Dubbed the Black Diamond, Mansory's Carbonado takes the sharp aggressive nature of the Aventador and cranks everything up to 11. The entire exterior is finished in forged carbon fiber, not just for looks, but for weight savings and strength. Every panel, from the front splitter to the engine cover, is replaced with angular stealth fighter geometry. Mansory didn't stop with looks. The naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine is tuned to deliver nearly 1,250 horsepower, a jump of over 200 from the factory. That pushes the top speed north of 220 miles per hour. The car also features a custom high-performance exhaust system that gives it an even deeper roar at full throttle. Acceleration is brutal. You're looking at 0 to 60 in around 2.6 seconds. Visuals are just as intense. The Carbonado Evo includes oversized air intakes, a sculpted rear diffuser, and a roof scoop that channels airflow directly into the engine bay. The taillights are slimmed and reworked to match the sharper lines. Mansory adds custom butterfly doors and lightweight forged wheels wrapped in ultra-low profile rubber. Inside, it's full bespoke treatment, black Alcantara with yellow contrast stitching, carbon fiber trim everywhere, and custom seats shaped more like racing buckets than luxury chairs. One of the showcase builds included custom carbon luggage, a helmet with the same forged finish, and even a carbon Mansory key. Total cost? Over $1.8 million when fully spec'd. At this point, you're probably wondering how things could get even more extreme. Enter the Mansory. Yes, that's exactly what they named it. A custom creation based on the already rare Ford GT. By the time Mansory is done with it, the only thing it really shares with the stock Ford GT is the engine placement and badge. Everything else is redrawn, recut, and rebuilt to look like it came from 20 years in the future. First, the front end. It's longer, lower, and meaner, with sharper angles and deeper air intakes that give it a full race-ready face. The headlights have been replaced with sleeker LED units that look like something you'd find on a concept car. Mansory reshaped the hood with air channels to improve cooling and downforce, and every panel has been rebuilt in forged carbon. The arches are massively flared and stuffed with forged lightweight wheels, wrapped in ultra-low profile tires ready for the track. Out back, it only gets crazier. The dual exhausts have been raised to the center of the rear, right between two huge vents, and tuned to spit out a deeper, louder roar. The rear wing is huge. Not only is it functional, but it also makes the car look like it's ready to launch off a ramp. A massive carbon diffuser finishes the rear end, improving grip at high speeds. The twin-turbo V6 now puts out more than 700 horsepower thanks to ECU tweaks and a free-flowing exhaust. All in, the Mansory build pushes the price to nearly $2 million. And that's before any personal custom requests. One customer went with red accented forged carbon, custom door lighting, and a fully red Alcantara interior with matching seatbelts and trim. No two builds are alike. That's the whole point, to go beyond rare and into one-of-a-kind territory. And if there's one Mansory that brings chaos in a sleek, compact shell, it's the Cabrera, their brutal take on the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. Mansory took what was already one of the sharpest looking supercars on the road and made it look like it escaped from a sci-fi video game. The most obvious change is the bodywork. It's all forged carbon fiber, from the angular split-nose front bumper to the massive roof scoop. The air intakes are widened, the fenders are flared, and the hood now features deep channels for extra cooling and aerodynamics. The rear diffuser looks like it belongs on a GT3 racer with blade-like fins and integrated LED strips. Under the hood, the naturally aspirated V10 gets a tune-up, pushing output from 631 horsepower to around 800. That extra power comes thanks to a remapped ECU and a lightweight titanium exhaust system that crackles and pops like a fireworks show. The exhaust tips are now center-mounted and framed in carbon, making them the visual centerpiece of the rear. Inside, Mansory doesn't hold back. A custom Cabrera build was recently spotted with neon lime accents over a deep black Alcantara interior. The seats were reupholstered in laser-cut leather with matching green stitching, including the dash, door panels, and even the headliner. A fully digital instrument cluster sits behind a carbon steering wheel with color-coded shift lights. The steering column, center console, and vents were all wrapped in forged carbon trim. The total value of a fully built Mansory Cabrera? North of 700 grand, and that's before the personal touches. And just when you thought we were done, we're not, because the Mansory Tempesta GT Spider, based on the McLaren 720S, might be their most complete and refined custom build of 2025. The base car is already a beast, lightweight, mid-engined, and fast, but Mansory takes it much further. The whole body gets wrapped in forged carbon fiber with a new front splitter, aggressive side skirts, massive air intakes, and a functional rear wing that adds real downforce. The stock 720S puts out 710 horsepower, but Mansory pushes it to 850 thanks to a tuned ECU and a custom exhaust system that makes every rev sound like a track-ready missile. Inside, it's just as wild. The cabin is retrimmed in tan and black leather with laser-cut carbon fiber inserts. Mansory logos are embroidered into the seats, stitched into the floor mats, and even engraved into the aluminum pedals. One-off builds have included color-matched seatbelts, ambient LED lighting, and a custom steering wheel tailored to the client's hand grip. A private collector in Japan reportedly spent over $1 million on their version, which included laser-etched door panels, blue carbon accents, and hand-painted calipers. This isn't just a McLaren with a new outfit, it's a complete rebirth of the 720S, made for the spotlight. So, what do you get when you take the wildest hypercars on Earth and hand them over to a team that thinks too much is just the start? You get carbon insanity, you get forged fantasy, you get a garage full of machines that don't just break rules, they write new ones. Which one would you take for a drive? Or would you dare park one in your garage? Let us know in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because this is just the beginning, and we've got more madness coming your way.